Welcome to the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. Week 2, out and about during spring football practice. Today we're at Moon Valley High School, coming off a great season last year. Coach Sam Jacobs has the Moon Valley Rockets looking to continue success going into 2015. We'll get to Moon Valley in a minute. First, recruiting news, first and foremost. Jason Jewell, Scout.com. Let's start Michigan. Jim Harbaugh, he recruited Arizona heavily while he was at Stanford. Now he's starting to make his way here locally as a member of Michigan.
Yeah, he came in and offered the top prospect in the state, Byron Murphy from Scottsdale Saguaro. Murphy now up to 24 scholarship offers. Absolutely ridiculous because he also added Utah and he added Ole Miss. But then his trend right now is to offer those young kids, and he went after two players in the 2017 class, two offensive linemen, Caden Lyles, also at Saguaro, and then rising star Austin Jackson out of North Canyon High School.
And then speaking of the Big Ten in Michigan, Wisconsin was also active in Arizona last week.
Yeah, offered a couple, some more of the stars. Offered Garrett Rand, the big D tackle, out at Hamilton High School. Nikhil Harry, the star, four-star wide receiver at Chandler High. And Connor Murphy, another four-star player out of Brophy Prep.
And those guys pride, both of those teams, the Big Ten, pride themselves in the trenches, so it speaks a lot about guys like Rand and Murphy getting offers by those programs.
That's where the games are won and lost, in the trenches. Those schools kind of recruit nationwide and coming out here, and those players should feel special that they're getting recruited by a program that doesn't typically come out here and recruit.
3 players received their first offers last week, starting with Mountain Point's Isaiah Polomau. Could have gotten him in last week's roundup, but we just missed him before we got it up. We wanted to make sure we got to him this week.
Yeah, 2017 player, first offer from the University of Utah. I went out and saw him last week at practice. He looks great. He's at least 6'4", maybe a little bit taller, weighs 191 pounds. Last year was just a ball hawk, had multiple interceptions playing back there at free safety. I like this kid. He's not ranked right now by Scout, but I have a feeling that before long he'll be a 4-star prospect.
We were out at Saguaro last week and we caught Julian Carter, and the night after we shot the roundup over there, he got his first offer from Idaho.
Yeah, and didn't he look great when he was out there? He's like 6'4", weighs almost 200 pounds, a physical specimen. Got that offer from Idaho. They come out here and offered 2 other players, in the state, and the Vandals are showing that they, want to make Arizona a priority.
And finally, Tanner Hawthorne out of Centennial picks up a few offers in the past week, and they were his first.
Yeah, it was offered by Adams State, and Adams State came here and recruited, offered a bunch of guys, as we saw. It was crazy all over Twitter. Then he got his first Division I offer when Missouri State came, and I think this is going to be the first of many. He's one of the few offensive tackles in the state that has length, and that's what people are looking for. He's 6'6", 270 pounds, and Centennial has a pedigree of putting out quality offensive linemen.
And you mentioned, good segue, Adams State, very active. A lot of players, can't get through them all, but what is the connection from Adams State to Arizona?
Yeah, you look at their new head coach is Tim Rosenbaugh, and he was a quarterback for the Phoenix Cardinals back then, and coming back to where he has some roots and trying to make this a recruiting ground for himself.
More recruiting news to get to. Daniel Bridgegad, the quarterback, continues to blow up this spring, adds another offer.
Yeah, it was offered by another Mountain West school, by UNLV, and the Rebels have come in and offered multiple players, and I think they're going to make this, more important than they have in the past.
We mentioned Joe Logan out at Estrella Foothills as a running back to watch coming up this season on our recruiting roundup. He picked up his second offer this past week.
Yeah, smart offer by Northern Arizona, offered him. South Dakota State has also offered as well.
And then John Akwali, another player like Bridgegad, who's really had a big winter into spring, adds another offer.
Yeah, Akwali was offered by Nevada and by Utah State. I know San Diego State's coming out there today to go look at him. University of New Mexico now has 6 offers. I really like Akwali, one of the sleepers in the state of Arizona.
And then finally, UC Davis went out to Chaparral High School and liked what they saw.
Yeah, they offered Christian Skeptaris, got his 3rd offer now, and they offered Brandon Jameson, who's now starting to blow up. And then I want to make sure we mention Mason Moran was also offered by Northwestern.
And then, Jason, finally to wrap things up here, we're at Moon Valley High School. Great season last year. Shannon Burton was one of the breakout players in the state. He's now graduated. What have you seen out of this squad here at spring practice?
Well, really, it's just numbers. I remember when Coach Jacobs first took over this job, I came out here and there was 13 total players on the field. They didn't have enough offensive linemen to practice. Now you look at it right now and they have huge numbers. Probably looks about 60 kids out here, and they have a lot of offensive linemen, probably over 20. And Jacobs had a good season last year with the Rockets, and let's hope that they can get back to that success that they had, when Roger Britson was here, and Mark Smith, and the winning season that they had back in the day.
Sure, and they got some prospects to keep an eye on too. Malik Clark on the defensive line, offensive line maybe a little bit too, and then Brett Voss, a very talented skill player on the outside. That's it for this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. We'll be on the road again next week. Until then, JasonJewellScout.com. I'm Jared Cohen. This has been the Recruiting Roundup on Sports360AZ.com.